joy, peace, and life to share. We get together with love to spare. Let's start this celebration with a song. Let's start this celebration with a cheer. Let's tell the world that all are welcome here. We've got speakers, books, and classes too. We're learning things we never knew. Let's start this celebration with a cheer. Well, let's start this celebration with a song. This is home, we're right where we belong. We can be, do, and have it all. No dreams too big and no dreams too small. Let's start this celebration with a song. Yeah, well, let's start this celebration. Prayer and meditation. Let's start this celebration with a song.
Gonna be the first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to take a stand. I won't play it safe and wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I'll let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Ow! I'll be on Oprah and Conan, 60 Minutes and The View. They'll all be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Vogue will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. So I'm going for my dreams, nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra, I practice kindness every day. I take time to connect, I take time to have fun. I wanna know I've used up every drop before my life is done. So I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. Give and receive love. I am a woman of power, a woman of grace. The life that I've lived is in every wrinkle on my face. And I love myself so I can love you too. And I know when we're connected there ain't nothing we can't do. So let's shine, let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. I see you shine, shine. Yes you shine, shine. I see your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Watch me shine, oh I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Shine, yeah. Let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine.
once an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. Of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born. There's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Well, some say I'm out of touch with the times, that this world is no place for a vision like mine. Well, still I can see it, and still I believe it. There's too many lives on the line. There's so many lives on the line. Breathe the same air. Oh, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, and kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, oh, you and I. Breathe the same air, breathe the same air, oh
Sing it if you know it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Sing it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Good morning. Get ready to raise the roof. Spirit is in this place.
Well, good morning. And that, of course, was the Reverend Dr. Michael Gott, who's the senior minister now at Unity of Houston, where I suspect it's very, very hot and sticky today. And I have a great service set up for you today. Frank is I'm going to unmute the Skypes, but Frank is our practitioner today. And Valerie, get into camera there. There's Frank, who's our practitioner today. And our special musical guest today is Valerie Landsberg, who's Skyping in from Maine. So let's get started with a little bit of prayer. I'm going to put on some Donna Michael piano music here. And let's see. There it is. And so I invite everybody to just simply take a breath with me. Right where you are. I want you to see, look behind me. I have our July colors up. Thank you, Joyce, for our July colors. Everybody take a breath. If you feel comfortable taking a breath, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, and let's know this together, that right where we are, we come together as a family, one big family, that Spirit is in this house, as Denise Rosier sang. And of course, that we are only here for God, as Michael Gott sang. And so what I know is that there is only one life. That life is God. That life is my life now, and the life of each of us gathered together here today. Our family, our friends, our communities. And I know that right where each of us is, we are living a life that is perfect. Back of anything that we might see, as Dr. Holmes would teach us, is perfection. Perfection of body, perfection of spirit, perfection of this universal expression we call life, wisdom, intelligence, love, and kindness. I bless our life today. I bless the time that we spend together. I bless our community. And I know that right where each of us is, we are, in fact, expressing this life perfectly. We are open to every good experience, and I simply know that all is well. And knowing that all is well, I release my word into the action of that mechanically accurate law, which is also supremely, lovingly impersonal in this and every moment, and does the bidding of our conscious thought right now, as we speak it, as we think it, as we know it. All is well. So releasing this word into the action of that law, I let it be and I let it go, as together we affirm this truth by saying, and so it is, and so it is. So, so much to be grateful for in our life this week. I was talking the other day with Judy and with Marina, and we are planning, well, it's not a surprise, I'll tell you, we are planning a church picnic, a social distancing outdoor church picnic at Corwin Park, at Corwin Park, right next door on the other side of this parking lot over here at Corwin Park. And we don't have a date yet, and we don't have all the details, but we are working toward an opportunity for us to be together. Hi, Dawn. Dawn just logged in. Mary Franklin just logged in. Karen Mitchell is here this morning. Deborah Kearns is here this morning. Christy is here. So more information when we get to it. Also, of course, you should have received your invitation, if you are an official member of the center, to join us for our August 2nd community meeting, in which we will approve our new balanced budget. Hopefully approve it. There's no reason not to approve it. It's a really well-crafted, balanced budget, which during this time of coronavirus pandemic, Charles and I and the budget committee, which of course included members of our board and members of our leadership, we've been very, very smart about our money this coming year. So so let's go ahead and move into just a few minutes here of our Ho'opono, forgiveness and reconciliation action. I've been taking this wonderful class, where's the picture? I've been taking this great class, this Me and White Supremacy class by Lila F. Saad. The member book study is going to be beginning on Tuesday evenings on August 4th and ending September 1st. I've got the link for you guys to sign up for this class, all set up in the Textamol, so it'll go out today. You'll get that link, and it's a free class. So I hope that you'll join it. But let's go into our Ho'opono meditation. Let's just take a couple of minutes now to sit back into Karen Drucker's beautiful Ho'opono meditation music as we just release anything that might have struck us this week about all of the stuff going on in our country right now. So here we go.
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I love you.
I was just looking at the chats as I was opening my eyes from the meditation there, and I noticed that Joan chimed in and said, "Good morning, stay cool in our 105 temperatures." Summer is here finally. Summer is here. Let's go through and as a community, let's take this moment to read Dr. Holmes's promises together. Here we go. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. Let's assure our soul now by singing my song, I Remember Who I Am. And as we do, let's just stop for a moment and remember that what we're declaring is our oneness with the divine and our oneness with each other. I remember who I am. I remember who you are. and who we are is pure spirit. Okay, let's sing that together. I remember who I am. I remember who you are, and who we are is pure spirit. We are life. We are life. We are light. We are love. We are joy. We are joy. We are peace. We are wisdom and beautiful harmony. And beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are, and who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. One last time. Who we are is pure spirit. That's who we are. Let's go on to read our Declaration of Principle. And Valerie, you should get ready because you're on right after this. So our Declaration of Principle, I'll move to that slide right now. It goes like this. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And finally, I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And so I know last week I got a comment from Charles saying that I had said it slowly enough for everybody to keep up with me, but I think this week I've had more coffee, so maybe I didn't quite keep up with that. And I'm gonna go to this shot of Valerie fixing her microphone. Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning.
And
I plugged in yet.
no, it's not plugged. No, I got it. Because so Valerie Landsberg, I think many of the community, my spiritual community, may recognize you from your many roles on film and television, and especially, of course, your long run on the television show Fame back in the day. But you and I have known each other for 40 years, long before that.
Crazy.
I know. We met back in the summer of 1980 when my then roommate, Louis Merkin, was in a show called Children of a Lesser God on Broadway, and you were starring in a show right around the corner on Broadway called I Oughta Be in Pictures.
I was understudying Dinah Manoff. I took over the role eventually, but so when I was understudying, I had to be there the whole time because it was only a 3-character play, and the only place I could go was a block away to the theater that Children of Lesser God was in, because if something happened, I could run back
to the theater and be on stage in case. Did that ever happen, like between Act 1 and Act 2 when you had to go on?
Happened. She was sick. She was sick one day in the run. I mean, the crazy thing was actually at the Mark Taper Forum. And that's when there was a crazy thing that happened where we lost 2 of the 3 cast members at the intermission.
Wow.
And so 2 other actors went on the stage after a 30-minute intermission.
Wow.
And it was pretty amazing.
That's crazy.
It's, one of the theater stories that you just, that's your best story.
The magic of the live theater. And then, of course, 5 years later, you and I founded a band together called Doug LeBeau and Van Gogh. And we played concert dates around Los Angeles. So I've chosen a couple of your songs for today that I love. And the first one is called Middle Child. So do you have to plug your mic in?
I will plug it in.
Okay, good. So everybody, my dear friend, 40 years we've known each other. Holy crap. Valerie Landsberg singing her beautiful song.
So, Doug, I'm relying on you to just give me a thumbs up because I can't hear you.
I know. Go for it.
And how's that? It's not good. I should probably tip it up a little more. Step back, step back from the microphone. Oh, all right. So this song is I had a friend who was a practitioner also, science of mind practitioner, and we were talking one day because after I had been around in science of mind for a little while, and really it was looking at Jesus the guy. And I asked my friend John, I said, so what's the historical take? And they said, well, he has brothers and sisters, he's kind of marches to a different drummer. And I just went, oh, that's very familiar. It's the kind of guy I'm attracted to. So anyway, this is called Middle Child. Jerusalem was burning in the springtime. Middle child. Hearing God, hanging on to something wild. I bet you question reason, just like me. Black sheep saved, gave it up for free. And I would have liked to know you, Mr. Jesus, a poet with a higher choice in mind. Oh, would you been my best friend, Mr. Jesus? You were my father's crazy son, but they thought you were the only one. All the people who had named you praise and high, breaking rules and preaching love, just my type. And I would have liked to know you, Mr. Jesus. Long-haired beauty, keep them to yourself. Just like all my boyfriends, Mr. Jesus. You were the one who lit the way. Would I begged you not to go that day? I would have kept you by my side, written down your lyrics, made your dinner, laughed and cried. And I would have liked to know you, Mr. Jesus. If you hadn't died, would you be Santa Claus? I'll be waving from the bandstand, Mr. Jesus. I bless the people who believe, and the best friend who deceived you. And I would have liked to know you, Mr. Jesus.
just a poet with a higher choice than mine. Oh, would you been my best friend, Mr. Jesus? You are my father's crazy son, but they thought you were the only one. Middle child, you were a middle child.
Thank you. I know you can't hear me, so unplug your mic. Stick around for another song. That was beautiful. Thank you. And yeah, it was great when you moved back just a little bit. Hey, Val, your album, Grown Up, is it still available anywhere?
You know, it's you can find it some places, but I will give you an email.
Okay, great.
And if you send me an email, I will send you how to get it. 'Cause
Okay,
I made
great.
a run of about 200.
All right, so I will make it available, the email, the connection available to everybody in the center afterwards. All right, we're going to go on to our other stuff right now, so stick around, Valerie. Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody that in the midst of everything that's going on, I want you to know that you can be very proud to be a part of the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, and of course the religious science community in general. We are an open and affirming community, and of course our mission statement in terms of inclusivity is that the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living is a radically inclusive and mindfully non-racist spiritual community where all are lovingly welcomed here. And as I said, yes, I have been taking this great class based on me and white supremacy. It's a book study. This book, there's reading in the beginning, and then each chapter, you do a chapter on every day for 21 days, and you answer questions, and it's really deep work, and I won't say it's not painful. It's some of it is very uncomfortable. And Charles wanted you to know, Valerie, that was beautiful. So it's and she's waving back, Charles. So this book, Me and White Supremacy, asks some hard questions, and there's no easy answers. And it's got me thinking all the time. So the ministers are taking this class right now. The practitioners will be taking it next. And the member book study begins Tuesday evenings, August 4th, and ends on September 1st. And it's really well facilitated. So I believe that I've already got that link going out at 11:30 this morning automatically. So you should get that link. And it's a free class and well worth the time you'll spend. Last week we did a poem by Jane Works, and of course this week she sent in another one. I don't know if it's a poem or if it's she says, as changing times bring new challenges into our lives, loyal Americans have risen up, put on their masks, and gone out to get the job done, just as we did in the years between 1941 and 1945. As JFK once said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Happy July to all, and God bless America. Jane Works. Thank you, Jane. And yeah, I mean, more than ever, I think it's time for us to make sure we have our masks on. Even President Trump put a mask on yesterday as he went to Walter Reed Hospital. It's the very first time. Charles says, I've started working through the book also. It does stimulate thought. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So our practitioner today is Frank. There you are. Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Hi.
Hi. How's it going, Frank?
We're cool in here.
It's cool in there. You got air
Thank
conditioning
God
on in
for
there.
air conditioning. Yeah.
And it's 105 outside.
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
It's going to be.
It's going to be. All right. So Frank, you've got the affirmation, the flames, and the treatment. So please take it away, Frank.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you again, even if it is at a distance. If you'll join me with the affirmation for today, please. I'll say it once through, and then if we'll join together twice to follow. My connection to the divine is the truth of my life. Will join me, please? My connection to the divine is the truth of my life. Again, my connection to the divine is the truth of my life. Now we will do the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sunday to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic tradition, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the primal way of life. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And so it is. If you will join me in prayer at this time. I turn inward now and see the cosmos. It is the consciousness and the being of love, peace, joy and happiness, health, vitality. And as I speak these words of this conscious place, I name it and I claim it for myself, for I am a divine spark from this fire. I take time each day to create a mental, physical, and emotional space and withdraw into this deep well of consciousness. This is for my own healing, blessing, health, and happiness. Taking this time daily is the most important thing I can do. Maintain my balanced perspective during these times of great stress. It is my connection, it is my being, it is what I claim. It allows me to walk in peace, speak in justice terms, without condemnation, but with love and understanding as we move forward into a really new day within our country, within our own lives. I am never alone. The I am is all one. And For this understanding, I am deeply grateful, and for our teachings. We have great gratitude. So it is, so I am, and so we are.
Thank you, Frank.
Welcome.
Appreciate that. So, Valerie, I'm coming back to you now, if you get into camera there. And I know Frank is going to head off to the office there. And so, Valerie, Frank said, we are never not with the divine. And it's funny because I picked the second song of yours called Never, Never. I know you sang it once at Agape quite a number of years ago when Agape was still in Santa Monica. But I love the teaching of this song. So go ahead and plug your mic in. Now, I know I'm telling everybody, Valerie has to leave like right after her performance because it's Maine, and it's already later in the afternoon in Maine, and she's got to go. But thank you for being here.
But I know you can hear me, but I'll be back. I'll be back.
Oh,
I look
thanks.
forward to come, like when we can all be together again, then to come back to California again and come see this all in person. And
Thank
what
you.
a wonderful day. And thank you, Doug. 40 years, man. It's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Step
We
back a
found
little.
each other again.
Step back.
So I wrote this song. This is just this deal with the things that feel overwhelming, the things that feel untenable. Cause you never, never know when your life will try to break you in half. And you never, never know when you will not have the strength left to laugh. And you never, never think that you'll ever have the will to survive. And you never, never think that you can, but you try. When you're saying goodbye and you cry. 'Cause you never stop to think, no. 'Cause you never, never think that the people on the news will be you. And you never, never think that your deepest, darkest nightmares come true. When you thank your lucky stars, cross your heart and say a prayer that it's them. 'Cause you never, never want to be faced with what you can't comprehend. It's no good to pretend, so you bend. 'Cause you never stop to think when you see, why does this happen to me? Take a look around at the purpose of the things you can't see. You wouldn't make the choice to learn the lessons like this, and you always want to hightail and run, but you stay. You don't know what to say, so you pray. Yeah. Cause you'd never get to know all the knowledge and the gifts you possess. Never get to sit with the grace of having moved through the mess. And you'd never get to know that you're stronger than you were in the past. Never feel the peace from the things that you let go of. Like the angels above, nothing stronger than love, yeah. Yeah, oh, you never know, oh, you never know, but love, oh, there's nothing stronger than love. Ooh, ah, love. 'Cause you never, never know.
Thank you.
Namaste. Be
Thank
well,
you.
everybody. Stay safe. Be well.
You too. Bye, Val. Have a good day in Maine. I know Valerie wrote that. She wrote that right after 9/11. And, I'm going to turn this down. Okay, she wrote that right after 9/11. Thank you. And, you know, I'll tell her. Barb says, thank you, Valerie. Your song really spoke to me. I know she had to go because she's... and Brandy says, thank you for the message from this song. I know Valerie will watch the whole service afterwards. You know, it's really funny. She was on that show Fame, like, I don't know, 30-something years ago, and people are still crazy about that show. She and the entire cast, except for Gene, who passed away, got invited to go do a concert in Italy last year, and thousands of people showed up to hear them sing the songs from that show and other stuff in that concert. Wow. So, this month, July, we're continuing to talk about mindfulness and freedom. And I love how the lyrics from Valerie's song remind me that if we don't stop and take the time to think about what we think and about what's happening, the things that we'd miss out on if we don't take the time to be mindful. Like she writes, you'd never get to see all the knowledge and gifts you possess. You'd never get to sit with the grace of having moved through the mess. And you'd never get to see that you're stronger than you were in the past, never feel the peace from the things you let go of. Like the angels above, nothing stronger than love. Without taking the time to think, like the thinker. Without taking the time to think, some time for mindful reflection, we'd never, as Valerie writes, we'd never see how far we've come. We'd never witness the gifts that we possess. We'd never see how gracefully we surf the waves of the turbulent waters of the messiness that we make in our lives. We'd never know the peace of the things that we've let go of. If you don't sometimes just stop and take stock, Brandy says, woohoo! I know. If you don't just sometimes stop and think about what you think about, because, you know, as Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living for a human being. You can go through this life completely unconsciously, but going through it consciously is so much more powerful for us. As Dr. Holmes said, you know, trained thought being much more powerful than untrained thought. In his book, This Thing Called You, he starts off that book by saying, you, like all others, are seeking the joy of living. You want to be needed, to be loved, to be included in the great drama of life. This divine urge is in every individual. It's in everything. The rose exists to express beauty. And you exist to express this magnificent relationship that you have, this creative relationship that you have with divine consciousness. And to accomplish anything as a result of the divine urge that comes up through us, we have to think and act. We have to treat and move our feet. We have to take the time to be in conscious connection with the larger consciousness of the universe, and then take, you know, that creative action, which is a part of our spiritual practice. So when anybody is experiencing any kind of blockage of their conscious alignment with God, anytime that we're up against the facts in our life, and all we can see is the facts, and we're either too wrapped up in that, or too ignorant to, or too egotistical in that moment to stop and say, wait a second, there's something bigger going on here, and I can turn this over to God. I can go within and find that divine wisdom. I can breathe right now and listen to the divine urge. You know, we've often said, you know, no matter who is speaking, God is talking, but also you can say, no matter what's going on, God is at the center of that. And so whenever anybody's experiencing that kind of blockage in their conscious alignment with God, they're experiencing a lack of freedom. It's like Dr. Holmes teaches us about discord. You know, the freedom that we're talking about this month in our global vision, this spirituality unchained, this freedom from conflict, this freedom, it's not just for me and it's not just for you, it's for everybody. And you know, we all have the ability. It's like if we go back to that slide here that says, I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. You know, when we say that, what we're saying is we're putting into consciousness our own powerful, creative thought that we expect to experience freedom from discord, and we expect everyone else to also experience freedom from discord. And when we talked about freedom, you know, the power or the right to act and speak and think as we want to, as we wish to, as we are required to, without any blockages, without any hindrance, without any restriction. More than 90 years ago, it was when Dr. Holmes said that, I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And our teaching, the science of mind, goes on to assert that the freedom from conflict is a birthright of every soul. The freedom from conflict is the birthright, but sometimes to experience our birthright, sometimes to receive our divine inheritance based on family we come from and experiences in our lives and experiences that others may put us into, we might have to do some work to experience that freedom, which is our birthright. And the science of mind also teaches us that freedom, we have to use it with wisdom, so that we don't confuse freedom with the ability, the right to be unmindful or to be selfish or to be unkind. I was recently reading this book called Barking to the Choir, The Power of Radical Kinship by Gregory Boyle. And Father Gregory Boyle is a priest who's been working to counter gang activity for more than 30 years in the Los Angeles area. And so in this book, Barking at the Choir, he tells of his mission, Homeboy Industries, and how he's helped many hundreds of young people to get away from gangs and into productive lives by providing employment, tattoo removal, counseling, love to probably thousands of these at-risk youth in Los Angeles, some of whom come to him with these full facial tattoos. You know, can't look in the mirror without being reminded of what they've been going through. And while I think it would be easy for Father Boyle to judge them based on their appearance and what you see, he sees only God. And he works to successfully restore their dignity and to help them inspire others to do the same and to experience freedom, literally freedom from what's going on in their neighborhoods, what's going on in their families, the world that they have been born into in some cities, in some places like East LA, you know, some cities, Boyle Heights, some places where this experience is eponymous. You know, maybe when you're children, there's no other way up at that time. I have to ask myself, you know, he works so hard to restore their dignity and inspire them to do the same for others. And where does he get the power, the will, the inspiration to do the work that he does? You know, I wonder, I'd like to talk to him. I wonder what beliefs he carries in his heart, what the divine communication was that inspired him to do this work and make such a mighty difference in this world. That whole idea of, you know, none is free until all are free. I wonder what his faith tradition tells him the moral imperative is. Not everybody's brave enough or kind enough or loving enough to do the kind of work that he's doing. But every one of us in the world does have the freedom to make a difference and do some good in the world. The divine urge is calling to each of us to take spiritual action. And our teaching, the science of mind, gives us specific tools that we can use to build a world that works for all of us. That spiritual practice recognizing that we're part of a larger life and part of a larger love, and using our time in spiritual practice, our spiritual mind treatment time, our meditation time, to glean how we can be a positive influence in the world and to experience, as we are talking about this month in July, all around our centers in the world, spirituality unchained, letting our divine urge out by taking spiritual action. And as we're talking about this week, none are free until all are free. And when we say treat and move your feet, understanding that creative action is a part of our spiritual practice. And so we have to be willing to act accordingly with regard to anyone who's experiencing anything other than the freedom to experience their oneness with God. And there are a lot of people I know who, are not in a place right now in the world, in this country, in their community. We've got the coronavirus pandemic that feels very confining in many ways. Sharon and I were we were feeling some cabin fever last night, and while we can't go out and eat, we decided to get some takeout food. And the first two places that we called, they couldn't even take our call. So many people were feeling the cabin fever thing at the end of the week on Friday, and they were one place that we love, Stonefire, there was a 2-hour wait they call us back in 2 hours or go online to our app, this idea of freedom, we can change our paradigm at any time. And I know so many people come to the science of mind expressing that they feel like they are needing spiritual freedom because the paradigm that they're coming from felt so squashed down that they literally felt a prisoner of some other paradigm. Many people, when they're introduced to the science of mind, express similar reactions to our teaching. They feel like they've come home to a place they always knew existed in their hearts, but were searching for and hadn't found. And I know that when Sharon first went to Agape and heard Michael Beckwith speak, she went the first time before me. I went with her the second time. But the first time that she went, before I attended with her, she came home that very first Sunday. I know I've told this story many, many times. And I said to her, "How was it?" And she said, "It was great." And she cried for 4 hours. And I just kept saying, well, tell me about it. And she felt so at home there. She felt so loved there, so at home there. And Charles says, "Julie and I take out every week, not just because we want a break, but to support our favorite local restaurants." Yes, very smart. Thank you. I was listening to an article on NPR this morning about the chief blogger for Food New York, who's a restaurant critic, who was saying, don't go to restaurants, but continue to get takeout so that we can support those restaurants so they can stay alive and so that the people who work there can have jobs. So when Sharon first went to Agape and then I joined her, I did not feel at home right away. It took me several weeks before I heard something that Michael said that was stronger than the uncomfortability I felt of being a Jewish person in a church. I did not feel like I was a refugee from Judaism, and I like being Jewish, although I was looking for more practical spirituality like what we teach in religious science. But I just felt uncomfortable being a Jew sitting in a place called a church for a couple of weeks. And then I heard something that Michael said that really made me too feel at home. Wayne Dyer famously said that heaven is a state of mind. It's not a location. When we find something that is so inspiring, so uplifting, something that has a universal appeal that we can connect to, and we vibrate to it, and then we look around and we see that other people are vibrating to it as well, and vibrating with it, then you see the power of universal freedom. Then you see the power of a communication that has love at its center, that has spirit at its center, and people can feel free to vibrate to it. And I think that we all have a personal responsibility when we find something that works for us, to shine our light and let other people know what it is. And maybe, because we don't preach, we don't proselytize, but maybe it's to be so attractive in our freedom and in our comfort that people want to know, what is it that you do, that we can pass on the good and experience. I found a picture. I'm not going to put it up here, but I did put it up on Facebook. I found a picture of what I looked like 2 years ago, 80 pounds heavier, and not looking happy. Even though 2 years ago I had a lot of things to be happy about in my life, but people see me all the time. I know I recently went to see David and Sia. I took a motorcycle ride and I went to see David and Sia up in the mountains. And when I walked in, Sia hadn't seen me in a long time, and she saw how much weight I had lost, and she made a comment. And this is also letting our light shine, letting our healthfulness express, and our spiritual healthfulness, is to be attractive to people so that we can pass on the good, and so that they can see that there's an experience of freedom that can be had, to shine our lights like a very bright light bulb.
What if this light bulb was the cure to racism, sexism, and classism? Hear me out. Do you know what people and light bulbs have in common? We both expresses different colors, have different shapes, different sizes. We're manufactured in different places. Some of us are bright, some dim, some clear, and some broken. We appear to be very different on the outside. But the thing about these lights is, there is one current running through each bulb. And in the same way, there is a singular energy running through each person on this planet. Doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter your race, gender, nationality, that's just the bulb. Inside of all that is who you really are. Energy. Don't believe your energy? Well, riddle me this. Say you have a friend named Jim, and you've been visiting Jim in the hospital. Until one day, Jim unfortunately dies on the operating table. You say, oh no, Jim died. But his body is still there, his race, his gender. But you say Jim died? Because you know deep down that Jim was a lot more than his body. He was the intelligent energy that gave life to his body. Energy is what we are. And energy has no color. It is not Republican nor Democrat, white or black. Energy is not Christian, Muslim, or atheist. Energy is. We are intelligent, creative, universal energy. And if we understood that, then we would finally know what wise men and women have been trying to tell us at the dawn of time, that we are one.
Right now, I think Prince E.A. is one of my absolute favorite New Thought teachers. He's just a smart anthropologist who takes really smart looks at everything. Karen says, one light, one love. Thank you, Karen Mitchell, Reverend Karen Mitchell. So talking this week about none are free until all are free. Our discussion this week has brought up many interesting opinions and teaching points within the CSL ministerial community, like this one from Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis in Seattle, who said, on a purely social level, if my freedom is at the expense of others, eventually others will rise up and try to take what they believe is inherently theirs. This could cause me to be defensively stingy and greedy, and I hope I'm not that way, in self-defense. To feel free and enjoy my freedom, I would want others to have a similar experience, right? And then David Alexander, my friend who's the senior minister in Atlanta, he writes, ask anyone in a 12-step program. You don't have your sobriety in check until step 12, helping others to achieve theirs. So, yes, none of us are free until all of us are free. And he goes on to say, the moment I think my personal level of freedom is independent of you and yours, that is when ego will take over and seek to defend, to protect, and act in ways of greed, possession, and oppression of others, meaning the current human condition, which is to say that the very problem with the world today is that we think we can have personal freedom as a separate and isolated thing we own. You know, none are free until all are free. And, you see that right now with the coronavirus. None of us are going to be free from the coronavirus until all of us are free from the coronavirus, like we are from polio. Okay? There's no polio in the world anymore. It's been eradicated. There's no smallpox in the world right now. It's been eradicated. And all of the other viruses that we've developed immunity to through our science and through the vaccines. But none of us will be free until we rise up together. Until we rise up together in demanding freedom for all.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll arise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
It just occurred to me that certainly Prince E.A. owes a debt of artistic ancestry to Maya Angelou. We see her a lot in clips on Oprah, as an elder stateswoman who has really been a great teacher. But you forget that in her younger days, she did a lot of performing and in fact, when she was very young, now there she is on the far right in her elder days, but here she is as a young lady. I recently learned that when she was very young, she suffered a life of torment growing up in New York City and a darkness that nearly stole her voice. And in fact, she was mute for 5 years. She endured intense physical and emotional abuse by a family member. But with the help of a family friend, she healed through spiritual action, and she was able to find her voice again. And as a young student in public school in New York City, she was introduced to Dickens and Shakespeare and Poe and other prolific poets and writers who would influence her essays and her poetry and her professional philosophies, propelling her to become a conduit for love. Really, because one person took spiritual action and raised her up and would not stand for her lack of personal freedom as a human being. And what's really interesting is, I know I've talked before about my friend Baba Olatunji, who was the master of the African drum. He had a community group in New York City that she was a member of in the 1950s in Harlem. She was literally pulled out of her pain by spiritual action. Here's a clip of her as a young and beautiful singer and dancer from a movie, a 1957 movie called Calypso Heatwave, like a teen dance craze movie, 1957, of her performing a song called Mo and Joe. And by the way, on the left, the guy on the left is Baba Olatunji playing the drums in this movie.
Grabbed Mo, and as Joe ran out, Brother Mo, he began to shout, "Run, Joe! Hey, the man's at the door, run, Joe! Him man, he won't let me go, run, Joe! Run, Joe, as fast as you can, run, Joe! His police holding me hand." Hide the crystal ball by the fence, so they won't find the evidence. Get somebody to tell a lie, so I'll have me an alibi. Hurry home and get in your bed, call the doctor and tie your head. Get somebody to go my bail, don't want to stay in that rotten jail. And run, Joe, while the man's at the door, run, Joe. The man, he won't let me go, run, Joe. Run, Joe, as fast as you can, run, Joe. These people's holding me hand. When they take me before the sarge, I am going to deny the charge. When the judge asks me how I plead, not guilty, Judge, most decidedly. You can see, Judge, at a glance, I'm just a victim of circumstance. Run, Joe, while man at the door, run, Joe. The man, he won't let me go, run, Joe. Run, Joe, as fast as you can, run, Joe. This police holding me hand. Ain't your mama done told ya? Ain't she done scold ya and scold ya? Ain't she done warned you before, Joe? If they capture you, run, Joe, run, Joe, run, Joe, run, Joe, run, Joe. Oh, those police gonna catching up with Joe. Joe, run too slow.
They love it. Classic Hollywood treatment. She was 29 years old when she made that movie. 29 and gorgeous and young and vibrant, and you can see how it became part of her lexicon of things. Each of us has the opportunity to shine our light in so many ways. And right now, I think we don't need to look very far to see people that are consumed by suffering. They're in prisons and detention centers. They're soldiers and single moms and in hospitals. And I heard something on the radio this morning that said, a woman said she lost 5 members of her family to the coronavirus. And she said, they go to the hospital and then you just never see them again. Because, of course, we can't be at the hospitals. We can't visit people. We can't have communication. So they just go to the hospitals and you don't see them again. people all over who would benefit by knowing that an experience of heaven on earth is available, the freedoms that we enjoy, which we derive through our conscious connection with the divine, and which needs to be shared. And it's our responsibility as people who are spiritual. It takes a lot more work to be spiritual than it does to not be spiritual. But when we have done and begun to do this work, we need to share our light. We can only truly enjoy our divine freedom by spreading it around, just like the 12th step and the 12-step programs, And we do this by helping others to experience the same freedoms that we have, because we can volunteer, we can teach, we can lead by example, we can smile at strangers. I make a point of saying to people, can you see my smile through my mask? Hold the door open, deliver food, shovel a walkway in the wintertime, Steve Colucci says, picnic sounds fun. Yes, it does, doesn't it? You and all of us in the world, we get more than we pay for when we commit to making a difference. That's one of the reasons that we're here as the front end of God, is to do the work in this world of that divine intuition, that divine urge that springs up through us, because God in us, as us, is us. God acting as us is us. So this week for our backronym, I'm keeping the same backronym I had last week. I just changed one word. So last week it said faith rewards my evolving expansion. This week it says faith rewards our evolving expansion with divine opulent manifestations. This work that we do, our prayer and our meditation and our commitment to our spiritual and human family to help wherever we can, that faith is rewarded. Our evolving expansion is rewarded by so many divine opulent manifestations in our life. And so I want us to keep that in mind as we move forward. And of course, our connection to God, our affirmation this week, my connection with the divine is the truth of my life. Let's say that together. My connection with the divine is the truth of my life. One more time. My connection with the divine is the truth of my life. Yes. And, Dr. Holmes teaches us that our experience here, of course, is perfect God, perfect human, perfect being. And we at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living are working towards our 2020 vision, one life in focus. One life in focus. Emily says, I hate to be the teacher and check your spelling, but opulent has one P. Did I spell it with two P's? Did I? I did. Thank you. I'm so shocked, Emily, that my spell check didn't catch that. So isn't it awful that we rely on spell check? I should know that, shouldn't I? So thank you for pointing that out. Man, I know what's really funny is, on our phones, we're texting away and our spell check can drive us crazy. You go, no, I don't want that spell check on. But I always leave my spell check on when I write everything. So I don't know how I missed that. So thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for being the teacher that you are. I appreciate how you share your love. So reminding you all that your support of our center is integral to our ability to keep doing this as we're moving through this experience of the coronavirus pandemic. Reminding you that you can, in fact, keep giving through the Give Plus mobile app. You can also go directly to our website and scroll down on our website to the place right there where you can click on the link that will take you right to the page that allows you to continue to contribute. And thank you. And then, of course, you can go to the center, drop something off at the center. You can mail it in, High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, 18575 Corwin Road, Apple Valley, California, 92307. Our website, of course, is high-desertcsl.org. Right? So, let's affirm that all is well. All is well. and I am grateful. I'm grateful for all of you. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the infinite indwelling spirit blesses and protects you. I know that spirit is kind and gracious through you and as you. And I know that spirit shines its light upon you and is your peace. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing together again. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. You know, it's funny, I was thinking about my friend Raymond, who's now my prayer partner too, was saying, he was explaining to somebody about the none are free until all is free. He said, you know, if you're swimming in a pool and a kid pees in the pool, you can throw good consciousness into the pool, meaning chlorine, but until you do, everybody's affected by the pee that's in the pool. It's just another way of saying the whole thing that we're saying. So we will be having fellowship right after service. Oh, let's go ahead and say together, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, process, prosper, and bless. Let's start again. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And I, of course, do my absolute best to say, I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And our Zoom info for today, I already sent out the link. I'm checking my phone here, and yes, it went out at 11 o'clock, the link, to all of you who get the link, but I know some of you, like Ellie, don't get text, so here's the info. The meeting ID is 838-7344-4338, and the password is freedom, ! All lowercase. And then I see that the white supremacy and me, the me and white supremacy link went out as well. And so I'll see you guys after a couple of minutes of God Makes Me Want to Sing. And have an awesome, awesome day. Peace and blessings to you all. Stay inside and stay out of the heat for today. I'm not going anywhere today. I'm going to go plant myself on the couch after lunch and enjoy the air conditioning as I begin my day off. So I love you all. I'll see those of you who join us on fellowship. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Namaste.
Can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. Make me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every Get right down to how I feel, then take a deep breath and grab the wheel. So I'm believing in my guiding light. Take it, guitar man. I am rising to a higher place with the wind in my back and a smile upon my face. Oh yeah, I'm living my dream a little more each day, and it keeps getting easier to find my way. So I am rising to a higher